Hello, this is Mike Hurd.
Hey, and this is Kathy. Good to see you, Mike.
Great to see you, Kathy, and everybody. Welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about a subject that I hear a lot about, and it's
Hmm.
physical pain. And the reason that this is foremost in my mind right now is because I'm experiencing
Hmm.
a lot of pain with a frozen shoulder.
Hmm.
And I won the lottery of being in the small minority of people that gets frozen shoulder on both shoulders. My doctor said it's very
Ouch.
unusual for people to have to get this in both
Hmm.
shoulders. So
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
experienced it with my left. I'm right-handed, and now I'm going through it with my right, and
Okay.
it. I'd love to have a discussion about pain
Hmm.
as it and how it relates to the three principles that
Hmm.
we've talked about
Yeah,
often in these chats
yeah.
and just what I've noticed and one of the things that I've been reflecting on is how like even today there are moments where I really notice the pain when I'm doing something with my right
Hmm.
hand, when I stretch, move the
Hmm.
wrong way, and even when I'm sitting, sometimes the pain is substantial, but other
Hmm.
times I don't notice it at all. And it's usually when I'm distracted or when
Hmm.
I'm thinking about something else, or if I'm watching a TV show and it's something that's funny or it just captures my attention when I'm basically
Hmm.
when I'm distracted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't notice it as much. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm seeing it as pain as like there are almost two components
Hmm.
to it. There's
Hmm.
the physiological component of it where there's
Right,
something
right,
going on and the pain is signaling, yeah, there's something you
right.
should know. But then there's also the psychological piece
Hmm.
where that that fluctuates.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I would say is my experience of the pain. If I notice that if I'm tired or if I'm
Hmm.
in a lower mood, the pain is often greater in
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
moments. But if
yeah.
I'm in a better mood, like going to visit a family or
Hmm.
doing something fun or even going for a walk, like I don't
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
notice it
yeah, yeah,
when I'm outside. And so I'm
yeah,
just curious in your experience, Kathy,
yeah,
what is what I'm saying
yeah.
making, do you
Well, yeah,
sense?
it's making a lot of sense. And what comes to mind, I guess, I don't know, World War II, Vietnam War, whatever wars, I've nurses have said when they've run out of morphine for pain, they're out doing triage with soldiers who've been wounded. And so they run out of morphine and they're waiting for the next shipment or they just don't have any. And so what they would do is they would uh, inject the soldiers with sugar water. They would tell them, "Okay, I'm giving you your shot now," and they're only injecting them with sugar water. And as they're injecting them, all of a sudden the soldiers get relief from pain, like for a certain amount of time. In their mind, they're getting the painkiller, and all of a sudden they're getting relief from pain. So they've talked that, and they kind of have a knowing about this, and to just tide them over to when they get the real morphine. Now, of course, it's not going to last a long time, but at least to give some relief, given how much pain they're in. So, you know, I'm always amazed when I hear something like that.
Mhm.
So what is that? What is the implication of that? Well, the implication is yes, your body is definitely doing something. I mean, we all have this amazing body and things go wrong, but our experience of our bodies can only come through thought. So if for me, I had both hip replacements done. And prior to that, I had arthritis in the hip. And it's just like you, Michael. There are days I'll even wake up and think, oh, I've got arthritis in the hip. Here we go. like before I even get out of bed,
Right.
I'm really down about and it's limit to me. And I want to go shopping with my sister, and but it's just too much walking in the mall. So it all of a sudden my life kind of got more closed down the more thinking I had. And I didn't realize it. Over time, my life got a little more smaller, a little smaller, because I was walking around with this idea of arthritis in my hips.
Hmm.
And one day I woke up and I went to my doctor and they said, no, the only cure is for arthritis of the hip is to get a new hip. That's the only cure because arthritis doesn't get better. It only gets worse. It took me a year. So for a whole year, I kept thinking, no, I don't want surgery. I don't want surgery. But meanwhile, it got worse and worse. And one day I woke up and I thought, what is wrong with me? I'm in pain. There's a solution. And it's sort of like I woke up. And so from that point on, my surgery was planned and they even had to reschedule it because my surgeon, he had to get surgery on his shoulder. So I had to wait another 6 months. But during that time, it was different because I saw that the days that it was hurting me, it depended on where my state of mind was. So I was
Hmm.
becoming very hopeful, optimistic. So even though I still had the pain, it wasn't as bad as it was before I realized I was getting a new hip. But it was my state of mind that changed. But I didn't realize how much I was in it till one day I realized, whoa, it's literally just taken over my thinking.
Hmm.
So yes, people can have chronic pain, and I'll never forget this. A woman came to one of my evening classes, and I learned about this through her. She had been learning the principles. She was in a drug treatment program for alcoholism, but she had severe rheumatoid arthritis. And the first time she walked into my group session, she was bent over. She had a cane. She looked frail. I mean, she looked really bad. I mean, I'm watching her. She getting to just to sit in her chair, and she wasn't that old. And she was in charge of the nursing program at our university here in San Jose. So, I mean, she was in bad shape. But she came every week to my class, every week, every week. And over time, she started to look different. She started to, stand up straighter. When she'd walk to sit on her chair, it was different. And I asked her, I said, "Wow, are you getting treatment?" Because she had
Hmm.
told me in the group that she had rheumatoid arthritis. And I said, "Are you getting a different kind of treatment?" I mean, it was like amazing. She looked so much better. She said, "No, I have a different relationship with my rheumatoid arthritis. I have
Wow.
a different relationship." I said, "Wow, what do you mean by that?" And she said, "Well, I started to realize, yes, I have this. It's, you could see it on the x-rays, how bad it is, but my state of mind would actually determine how bad I would feel from one day. When she understood the nature of thought,
Hmm.
and I said, would you put, so I had her go in front of the group and I had her teaching
I,
about what that meant
yeah.
and how she noticed there were days when she was in a lower state of mind, the pain felt worse, and other days when she was just in the moment, she was doing things,
Hmm.
whatever. And yes, it was there, but it wasn't like dominating everything. And you could see physically the
Hmm.
change in her.
Hmm.
She still had rheumatoid arthritis. It was still chronic, but how she experienced it, I don't know. It was amazing to me. And so again, she became my teacher in this.
Hmm.
And listening to you, there are days when you are experiencing more than others. And again, it's real. The pain is real,
Hmm.
but where your mind is will determine how good or bad it's going to be.
Yeah,
And
I
I
see
know
that.
that sounds like pie in the sky, but it truly is state of mind. And I'm not saying change your mind about the pain. I'm
Mm.
saying just start to appreciate, oh, when I'm distracted, it's different than when I'm thinking about it too much. And just see that for yourself.
That's an interesting nuance that because there are times where like I know, well, if I just were able to change my thinking about this, I'd feel a little better. But
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't often help.
No,
It's
no,
when
yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
that space that you're describing of recognizing
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah. That's
experience
it.
is
Yeah, yeah.
being
Yeah, yeah,
created,
yeah.
that makes the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't see, it took me a long time for me to and here I do this for a living, but all of a sudden it dawned on me, Kathy, you have all this thinking about your hips.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And wow, I finally woke up to the fact of it. Now, that was a big deal for me because I didn't realize how much it was happening
yeah.
till I noticed that my world just got a little smaller and smaller. And all of a sudden I realized, wow, now maybe I wouldn't get a hip replacement. It doesn't matter either way. What I
Mhm.
realized was my state of mind was making my world smaller and smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's just realizing. I love that you use that word. It's just realizing that you're in a lot of thinking versus trying to change it. It's
Mm.
just appreciating, wow, and take care of yourself. Use common sense.
Right.
If something helps you, then do it. And there'll be days when it will work, and there'll be days when it won't work.
Hmm.
Oh, well, sometimes you could say, well, I'm going to read a book to take my mind off things. And you're reading the book, and all of a sudden you're 4 pages later and you have no idea what you
What
read.
you read, right?
Well, obviously that's not working. So it's not, again, it's never the thing that we're doing.
Hmm.
It's just sometimes it helps us. But if something's helping you, it's actually you've slipped into a different kind of thinking, and we tend
Mm.
to assign it to thing we're doing, but it's actually that's built into us.
Mm.
So, and I'm so sorry that you have this frozen. I just can't even imagine that. But again, I'm just grateful to know this understanding.
Oh, me too, Kathy. And this has been helpful
Yeah,
talk. So thank you. Yeah.
and thank you.
And hopefully it helps others who watch this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great. Until next time.